Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Money Matters Top Tips for Success, where each and every day I bring on new business owners, entrepreneurs, and executives and have them share their top tips for success with you. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres to keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, moneymatterstoptips.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today I have Samuel Draper on the line, and he is the managing partner and VP over at StarkFlow. Sam, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
So I'm excited to get more into what you're doing over at StarkFlow and how you're helping your clients. But before we do that, let's get a little bit further into your background. So how did you get started in your career in business?
So that's a loaded question, but I've always sort of tried to pursue things sort of on my own accord and time. And StarkFlow is a little bit of an outlet for that.
And so give us a little bit more. Is this your first entrepreneur venture? Have you done more in the past? Or?
Yeah, so for me, I've had probably about 7 or 8 companies, maybe half of which are failures, that I've started or participating in now. So StarkFlow, the way I kind of got started on StarkFlow was in the relationship of what I'm doing for my own company, NASA Cable. So we have a team of about 35 people over in India, and my partner had a company in India working for a company in Miami. So we connected when he was in New York and discovered that we're just doing similar things just in reverse. So we started StarkFlow to give a lot of other business owners in the West an opportunity to kind of augment their team in through like other places that have an oversupply of talent, like India or Eastern Europe.
That's awesome. And so what are there's a lot of business owners listening to this right now, a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of executives. What kind of services does StarkFlow offer?
So we basically hire talent for companies that are looking for people full-time. So we vet engineers and developers in India and in Ukraine, where we have an office in Bangalore and Kiev. And then we support them with kind of whatever they're looking for. If they need somebody for marketing or if they need somebody for like building an app, that's where we come in. So it's sort of I always say a double benefit, because you get a better labor for a better price. And a lot of that's courtesy of the kind of the U.S. dollar.
And so, what is a typical? You said full-time employee. So, what does a typical engagement look like? So, if I'm listening to this episode right now and I'm like, oh, okay, I've been thinking about outsourcing some processes or some functions abroad because they have maybe some, like you said, maybe cost benefit or also just labor. There's a lot of shortage here for quality engineers versus price also. So it's very tricky depending on what you're developing. So what's kind of like that time engagement? Is it like a full-time employee that's going to be with you for like many years? Is it just for one project? All of the above? Give us a little bit more background.
Yeah, so we solely focus on full-time. So our thesis is basically like freelance. You just almost by definition can't get somebody committed to whatever you're doing as a freelancer, right? Because they've got multitude of, they're juggling other projects. So that's a great question. We only focus on full-time. In terms of what that may look like. So it's really broad, right? So we've done projects all the way from sort of like for Fortune 100 companies developing apps for their subcontractors, all the way through just marketing for like a local store who wants help for like Facebook. But again, our kind of list is just like that the agency model domestically is really expensive, and the focus for that relatively poor because they have so many clients. So what we try to do is get talent that works directly for that company full time and solely, but it's on a remote basis.
No, that's a great model. I get it completely. And so where does StarkFlow come in? Is this like a talent agency? So once you make the alignment, you're out of the picture, or do you hang on longer? Give us a little bit of a feel for what the relationship between yourself, StarkFlow, and then the other employee looks like that's abroad.
Yeah, another great question. So we are basically connecting the talent with the company. So we just connect them. We give them the resumes. They do all the interviews. We don't participate in their systems, process these. I mean, occasionally as a courtesy, we'll help, but it's not the model. And we try not to do that just because, we don't know that company's business and, better than they do. And we're us learning it's not a help if we're not being hired. So, yeah, I hope that kind of answers what you're asking.
No, definitely it does. So it's definitely more of the talent scout, relationship model to where you're like I would say a traditional recruiter, except you're doing it internationally.
Correct. Yeah.
No, that's awesome. And so you mentioned in terms of types of companies and things you work with, like what do contracts look like? Does it have to be somebody that wants it? So if I'm a business owner, I'm listening to this right now. If I just need one employee, can I come to StarkFlow, or do I need many, or what does that look like so they know?
Yeah,
people listening can know it.
Yeah, that was a great question. So our goal is to establish teams, but that doesn't necessarily exclude one. I can't say I can think of when we've done only one, but we have had teams of two before. So if somebody's looking for engagement and they want like a team to maybe, set up a campaign for marketing their products on Facebook or Instagram or whatever kind of channel they're looking for, that would be something that would come to us for. And what's great for us is, too, we provide flexibility. So on a month-to-month basis, they're able to kind of exit, with 30-day notice if they want to kind of relieve the team of what they're doing. There's no year-long contract or anything like that.
Wow, that's awesome. What a great model.
Yeah, thanks. And so just real quick, we're also developing, which should be live by the end of Q1, a platform so that people can connect on our platform and find resumes in our candidate database, which should kind of facilitate the manual connections that we're doing right now.
Man, that's awesome. So, Sam, if somebody's listening to this and they do want more information on StarkFlow or to connect right now, what's the best way for them to reach out?
Yeah, they could reach out on our website, which is just starkflow.co, or they could just reach out to me on email, which is Samuel@StarkFlow, just like it sounds, .co.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's awesome. Well, hey, Sam, really appreciate you coming on the show today and sharing more about your background as an entrepreneur and also all the great work you're doing over at StarkFlow to connect businesses in the United States with talent abroad and help bridge the gap to that shortage. All great stuff there. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, leave me a review on the Apple iTunes Store, do all those great things we do to support our podcasters. I really do appreciate it. And Sam, thanks again for coming on the show.